Alright, what is going on, guys? It's been a long time since I posted, probably a year, give or take. And figured I'd do this video just to get something on the page. And basically I'm just going to be going over like all the deer I've shot, and the story of how I shot them, and like the guns I used, all that stuff. And I'm just gonna get right into it. So I've been hunting since I was 8 years old. This was my first gun. This is a Rossi Trifecta. It's got the 243 barrel, it's got a 20 gauge barrel, and it's got a 22 barrel. This is the 243 barrel, and that's what I used until I was 13. Never killed anything with that gun, just because basically until I was 13 probably I was always too scared to pull the trigger. And yeah, basically that cost me probably 4 deer, 3 or 4 deer that I could have easily shot. And then finally when I was 13, that's when I got my first deer. I was using this gun here. This is a Marlin 336. It's chambered in 30-30, which is a relatively common bullet. It's a good brush gun for if you're in thicker woods. It cuts through the brush decent. And basically the story of how I shot that deer is a little doe, like really little doe. It was a 78-pound doe. And basically I was in the woods. It was youth weekend, and so Saturday I didn't see anything. Sunday I didn't see anything all day, and then finally it's like getting towards the end, probably like 45 minutes till sunset. I saw some deer coming in. There's 4 deer. There was, there's probably 4 deer. There's 2 bigger does and then 2 smaller does. And basically I got my gun ready, had it on the rest. I was sitting in an elevated blind behind my house, and so I figure out which one's the biggest deer. I'm sitting there and I shot. They're probably 50 yards out. I missed. They didn't like immediately run away. They started walking away. They didn't run. So I chambered another one and shot, missed again, and then they booked it. They were gone. And so that sucked. And it was probably like 25-30 minutes until sunset at that point. So we walked out of the woods. My dad's like, why don't we go down and check our other spot, which is below my neighbor's house. I was like, yeah, sure, might as well. So we go down there, and that year was like the first year in a while we had a buck on the camera. It was only a 4-pointer, but it was a good size 4-pointer. And we're walking down the driveway down to her place, and I see it, and she's got like an apple orchard next to her house. So we walk through that, and I set up, and should have chambered to the bullet earlier, but yeah, I didn't. So got to where I could like get a good shot on it. It's probably 30 yards out. Went to chamber a bullet, and it got stuck about right here, because the bullet caught on the receiver or something. That's what I'm assuming happened. And so I was screwing with that for a minute. Meanwhile, my dad's sitting right next to me, pretty much saying, "What are you doing? Shoot the deer!" And like we're like sort of arguing, trying to be quiet. And finally, I got the bullet, and I'm getting ready to aim, and the deer walked into the woods. So we're like, all right, we're gonna walk around and see if it's on the other side, because the way it's set up is like there's a loop sort of thing with the woods, and it walked in on the left side, so we were going to walk around the right side to see if it was on the other side on the trail that goes down towards the back. And while we were walking around, there's a truck that pulled into the field, while we're behind like sort of like a brush pile thing, so they couldn't see us. And hey buddy. And we heard him get out of the truck and load up a gun, so they must have seen the deer. And so we like got out from behind the brush pile, like, oh, what the hell are you guys doing, basically. Because we knew who it was. Like, we've had problems with those people before, so we weren't trying to be too nice, but you know, what the hell are you guys doing? Get out of here. This is where we are. Like, make sure there's nobody where you are before you shoot. And so they like got back in the truck, pulled out. We walked around, walked up the trail a little bit, probably 15 yards down the trail. The deer I ended up shooting, that doe, ran out in front of me and started running down the trail. And basically I wasn't thinking. It was just a reaction. I pulled up, shot, and the deer basically just did a flop. I don't know if you guys have ever played like a buck hunter or anything at a arcade. How when you shoot the animals they like do a flop sort of thing. The deer did that while I was running. And it was like the luckiest shot probably I could have gotten. Like my dad was surprised, I was surprised. Deer was already dead when we got up to it. So what happened was the bullet, it went in to the top of the spine and like sort of veered down and ricocheted like top of the lungs down through the heart. Which is like, now I probably wouldn't make that shot just because it would have been a bad shot. I mean, the deer is running dead away from me, probably 75 yards out. Ricocheted down through the heart and the deer was dead by the time I got to it. So yeah, just went, got it weighed. Didn't get anything else for the rest of the season. Then the next year, it was also on Sunday. I didn't see anything on Saturday. I was using, this is my Savage. Not sure on the model off the top of my head. I think it's like a 111 or something like that. It's a 300 Win Mag, which is a really big bullet. I was using 200 grain bullets that year. And so I had just gotten this gun, I wanted to use it. And so I was using that. Didn't see anything Saturday once again. That's usually how it is for me. Usually second day, last minute. And so Sunday, we walked out of the woods and we were about to have lunch. We walked inside and I was washing my hands, like washing just dirt, everything off my hands so I could eat in the kitchen. I look up and I have like an orchard in my yard too, just like a young one, nothing. There's a deer. I saw the deer is sitting in there, just eating, feeding. And so I was like, ooh, Dad, where's my gun? Because he took my gun on the way in. And it's like, this one was a button buck, also really small, 74 pounds. I had a habit the first 2 years of hunting to shoot, or first 2 deer I shot, the habit of shooting small deer, apparently. And anyway, grabbed my gun, walked out the front of my house, and snuck around the backside through the driveway, around our garage, where the orchard is. Lined up probably 15 yards, not even. Snuck up to the deer, lined up, shot it, ran to the edge of my yard and just dropped. And so yeah, that was a 74-pound button buck, nothing huge, just like nothing significant, but it was still a deer, meat in the freezer. Got that, didn't get anything the rest of the year. And then finally, not like this past year, but the year before, I was using, this is my dad's Remington 7400s, chambered in 30-06, which is super common bullet. Like most of the people I know use a 30-06. So So I was using this, and I was hunting with someone else, not my dad, and youth season. Second day, last minute, someone stole our spot, and just being nice, we let him hunt there, and we had a couple other spots that we could have checked out just in fields, and so we ended up just driving around. We did a quick loop because it was almost dark. I mean, I shot that thing probably 15-20 minutes before it got dark out, and basically we're driving. We saw 8 doe in a field, so we were gonna drive up, stop, and then like cross the field, and then try to get him from like other side of the field, and yeah, just try to get one of those. But when we were driving up to where we were gonna stop, I saw another deer that was definitely bigger. Took the binoculars, looked through, and I was like, oh man, buddy's name's Keenan. I was like, oh man, Keenan, that's a bigger deer. That's a buck. He's definitely got horns. And so we're like, okay. Drove up a little further. Walked into the field, probably like 50 yards into the field. It was about a 200-yard shot. Pulled up, shot, and pretty much just dropped him in his tracks. Got him out. It's a funny story because my mom had just started working at a new restaurant that's probably, I don't know, 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes away from, probably about 45 minutes to an hour from where we were. And there's a road that usually closes in the winter, horrible road. And it was snowing that night, but it wasn't closed yet, and Keenan decided he wanted to go over that, no snow tires, so that just was a shit show. But anyway, the deer ended up being, it was 156 pounds as a 6-pointer. So my first like real buck, so to speak, that's not button buck. First big deer for around here, at least. Anybody watching anywhere else in the country, 156 is small. Not around here. We don't have a lot of big deer in Vermont. And so anyway, I didn't get anything for the rest of the year, and then this past year is my first year where I can't youth hunt, because I turned 16. And so bow hunted, didn't see anything. Tried to get some filmed hunts there, filmed all my hunts, didn't see anything. All bow season, beginning of rifle season, didn't see anything. And like that summer we had quite a few deer coming through constantly, like where I set up my stand. We had a nice, we had a big 8-point. I have a picture of him on my Instagram if you guys want to check that out. It's NEK_outdoor_adventures if you guys want to check that out. And big 8-pointer, biggest deer I've had on camera, and biggest rack deer I've had on camera and ever, really. And so yeah, this past year I decided, since I've never shot a deer with it, I don't know why, I've always had this thing where like I switch guns like every year for hunting. Decided to go back and use the old Rossi 243. And so basically, like, you guys, 243, common bullet. Basically didn't see anything. Finally on Thanksgiving, we ate dinner. I have another video coming out. It's a trapping video that's back from December that I just couldn't get out. I don't know when that video is going to be out, but hopefully soon. I said that a lot. But anyway, walked out after Thanksgiving dinner, walked out probably 3:50. So sunset was, I don't know, 4:15 maybe. I don't know. It's starting to get darker out. But anyway, I walked out and excuse me. Walked to my blind, debated whether or not I wanted to sit there. Decided not, because I'd be in there probably 20 minutes before it was dark and I had to go in. And I walked up a ridge. I was walking up the ridge and I saw a deer. I was like, oh wow, that first deer I've seen while I was hunting. Other than ones at the beginning of archery. I saw a couple deer at the beginning of archery and they're 80 plus yards out. Like, no way I was shooting those. And So anyway, I saw the deer. I looked through my scope to see what it was. It was just a doe. So passed it up. Obviously, you can't shoot does during rifle season here. That's probably like that everywhere. But anyway, started walking, or almost started walking again. I realized that there's another deer there. Looked through the scope again, and I was like, oh, he has horns. Pulled up, shot. It was a perfect shot. Called my dad. I was in the woods for 10 minutes. I left the house at 3:50. Called my dad right at 4 o'clock. Called my dad. Called my buddy Josh, who I hunt with quite a bit. Yeah, called them right at 4:50. So not even 10 minutes in the woods is effortless. I was like halfway into food coma, pretty much, because of Thanksgiving dinner. And yeah, 10 minutes, shot a deer. I got a perfect shot on it. He's probably like 50, 60 yards out. Straight through the bottom of the lungs, heart shot. Perfect shot. He went probably 50 feet and dropped. And it's funny because I have a hunting app on my phone. I marked it, but my GPS wasn't completely lined up, so I marked first blood while I went back and met him at the trail so I could get back there with him to show him where I was. And because I didn't see the deer drop, it was kind of thick. And so I went back, waited for them to come back, give the deer time to die if I wasn't a heart shot. Finally, they got back there, went back. The GPS on my phone was probably about 40 yards off. So I'm looking where like first blood was, and I'm like, this isn't where it was. And felt like kind of an idiot. So finally we're walking around. Finally I found it again. I was like, okay, this is where it was. Here's first blood. It was just like a couple of specks, and then it's just like blood, just river. It was a river. And so I was like, ooh, that was a good shot. We were walking, like blood on trees, everything, like trees like up to my shoulder had blood on them. And so we were walking, and finally I found it. That was an 8-pointer. He was 143 pounds. And yeah, I mean, I was happy. Didn't know how good my chances were because wasn't much time left in the season, and so I was getting kind of nervous. I mean, wasn't gonna get deer. I was hoping I was gonna get deer. And so yeah, finally, like, just to sort of wrap up my season, I got that 8-pointer, and I was happy. And might as well, while I have you guys. Oh yeah, I was gonna film that hunt, but I wasn't expecting to see anything. It was like an effortless hunt. I mean, I'd been filming all my hunts in the blind, nothing. In my stand, nothing. So just like going for a walk, I didn't even think to bring a GoPro or anything, and yeah. So, otherwise that would be on YouTube. But oh well, and might as well have you guys here. This is a gun I plan on using this year for deer season. This is a Ruger AR-556. It's chambered in .450 Bushmaster, which is good sized bullet. Straight wall casing. Here's next to like a 243. Definitely fatter, obviously. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to use that gun this year. Hopefully I can keep my streak going and get another deer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. It'd definitely help out. As I said, check out my Instagram. My past couple deer are on there. In April, I will be going to Florida, and so I'll have some fishing videos, hopefully. So that'll hopefully be some more content. And then as soon as I get back from Florida, it'll be turkey season here, and hopefully I'll be able to get some videos and that as well. So yeah, without further ado, thanks for watching, and I hope all you guys have a good day wherever you are.